Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Leroy Carlton Show. I am your host, Leroy Carlton. Wow. I have two great guests for you today, but before we do anything, God is at the forefront of everything that we do. So I would like to start this off with a quick prayer. Let us pray. Lord, as this year winds down to a close, I wrap up projects. I pray to finish those things well. I pray that I will honor you with the work that I have put forward and to do a better job next year of doing those things you would have me do. Help me to further the work of your kingdom. Help me to find fulfillment in knowing that I've done what I could help others and to be generous with the time and resources that I have. As I consider precious gifts that you gave to us at Christmas through your son, Jesus, I am inspired to seek more of you. I pray that I would be more obedient to your word and generous to those around me. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Ladies and gentlemen, both of these men really need no introduction. One has been on the show 3 times. One has been on the show once, but he had the biggest show of every show that I've done. And you grew to love this guy. But once I announce their names, you will know. We have been on a journey. And as you see the symbol behind me or the logo, this is where we come to. Because it has been one heck of a ride, and it is a ride that I do not want to get off. But to tell you this journey has been something because both of these men I look at as mentors. I've learned a lot from them. I watch them. I study them. I look at everything that they do. I listen to what they say. And I'm sure after this call, you will love them just as much as I do. So, without any further hesitation, I would like to bring forth Andre Pennington and Jayson Bove.
What's up, Leroy?
What's going on,
up,
man?
What's up? What's up?
Wow, good to have you guys on again. For those of you that was wondering, it was Andre Pennington that had the biggest show. Still today, the biggest show.
Is it like by like a few, or is it like, was it a landslide? Because I'm
landslide.
work on my next one.
It was 7 whole people more, bro.
As we always say, first and everybody else. So I fall in the category. It's what it is, man. It's what it is. I love it.
Okay, so you know the routine. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. And you just answer these questions to the best of your ability.
All right.
So question number 1. Looking at the journey we have been on and where we came from to where we are now, what is the one thing that either one of you have taken out of this journey?
I'm going to let you go first, Andre. You're first, Andre. You have the bigger show.
Hey, okay, all right. The one thing. Now I'm gonna break it into 2 parts. That might be cheating, but this is the one thing that I've learned. Right? Believe in the person that God created you to be.
I should have went first.
Right?
Go, finish, go.
And the reason I say that is because there are 2 sides of me that I act from, right? The one side, the smaller side that we think is us, right? And then there's the other side that is all intelligent, universally powerful. And that side, you can't go wrong, right? And if I've learned one thing in this is every single time I follow that voice, it leads somewhere to a place that I want, or a failure that leads to a place that's better than what I wanted. And it even feels funny saying I wanted, because a lot of times where it leads is a place I didn't know about, but that's perfect, not just for me, but for others too. So that's the number one thing for me.
Okay. And I'll piggyback with the kind of that same sentiment. I was going to say, trust yourself, right? So I think that's a big thing over this time frame. A lot of times we lean into a lot of people, but not just trust yourself. Trust that real group that's around you. So I think what we learned along this, even take the 10 years, but this last probably 12 months was really, know your worth, right? So we talk about knowing your worth, that's stepping into what God's called you to do. And then really finding that group of people that see your worth and lock in and sprint with them. And sometimes from the outside looking in, sometimes it feels like some other people see it in you, but you can tell when you start getting to certain levels of what they see and don't see. But that's the biggest thing. And enjoy the journey, man. Like I guess that'll be my last thing. Just enjoy it, man. There's so many ups and down curveballs, lefts and rights, dude. Like Leroy, we could be on here for 3 days going through the whole journey, but just really, trust yourself. God's given you gifts. Find those right people that see those gifts in you for who you are, and just enjoy the journey, man. It's exciting, dude. It's fun. Like, we'll get into it in a second, but we just came out of one of the biggest meetings that's going to take Universal to another planet, literally over an hour ago. And I'm just driving home from there, and I'm just thinking, like, Leroy, they don't even know what's coming, bro. Like, Leroy, they don't have a clue. And to think like people look through you sometimes. And I'll stop there. I'll answer that question.
Hey, don't stop there, bro. Speak it.
Speak on it.
No, but it's just, Andre, you did the class today, and the things that you're saying are so true. Like, everything's internal, and the day you stop allowing the external world to dictate who you're called to be, like, everything changes, right? So whether that's you kind of, I don't use the word idolizing, but you're maybe over looking up too much to one person and this and that. Like, you today, it was just, I was listening to you say it, man, and it's so true. It's like, at some point in life, I'm 43 now. Don't take the 43, but at some point in life, you got to look in that mirror and realize you're the one, man. Like, you're the one. You attach to other people and you get it. But the truth is, I'm going to wait to your other questions because I can go on 45 minutes. But no, but that's really it. I think at the end of the day, we've enjoyed every moment of it, dude. Like, if we told all the story, I'd be like, what the hell? We told it last night. Their faces were like, what? But like, we're smiling the whole time because it's all part of what it's supposed to be. God made it all happen for a reason. I'll tell you, I found my ride or dies, man. I'll tell you that. I'll leave it there. I mean, you find the right ones, but that's my answer. Just have fun too, man, along the way. I mean, I tell Andre have fun. And he's like, oh, fun. It's just,
I'm going to work some more tonight.
I know. I mean, I appreciate everything, man. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay.
Just like, know who you are, man. Know your gifts. I agree with Andre on that. You find that fast, your life changes quick.
Okay. Next question. Looking at the two of you being partners.
We look like twins, don't we? Sorry, I went away from my spot right now. My bad, bro. My bad. I always tell everybody, I was like, dude, we're twins. He got the better tan. What do you want to tell you? I got the hair, he got the tan. It's just how it works sometimes in our life. Mom and Dad wanted to make sure we were good. Anyway. Sorry, bro.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The two of you being partners. What strengths do you two bring to each other? And how do you divide your responsibilities? I know I'm coming at you with some pow.
I go. What do you think, Dre?
I think for me that one's super easy. For me that one's super.
Wait. Before Dre says this, I want to say one thing. You ever had like two good running backs, and one's like they call them like thunder because they're like just put them in the hole and they just smash it. Another one's like lightning, a little more finesse, a little more out.
Yeah, Refrigerator Perry and Walter Payton.
Okay, so who do you think is put him in there and let him smash? And then who do you think's a little more the finesse? Now, don't get twisted because I know we're trying to
change that last statement. Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen.
All right, there we go. Like I was gonna go more better with that. That's a better one.
There you go.
But anyway,
I would say Andre is more of the Bo Jackson. You are the more of the Marcus Allen.
It's 100% fact. And he plays multiple sports. He's more talented. Anyway, my point is, no, Andre, I'll let you answer it though. But I want you to think about that as we're explaining this, right? And
okay.
Leroy, this is I've never had anyone ask us this question yet. I think it's one of the best questions I've ever had asked yet. It's the real reason to the success in a moment. But Trey, what would you say?
I mean, for me, it's you pick somebody who's similar to you. To me, it's like this: character, morals, beliefs, we are aligned. I don't ever have to wonder what Jayson Bove is going to do in terms of character, right? I know the space that he's operating from. In terms of talents, we're completely different. I don't have to worry about being in his way because I'm not over there because I can't get over there. And I feel the same way with Jayson. I shouldn't say it that way. I don't want to diminish myself or diminish him. We both understand that if it came down to it, we could take on the responsibility to do it, but there's no need, right? So we work in unison towards the same goal, but we're hitting it from completely different angles, right? And I'm not going to tell him, hey, man, run right down the middle, and he's not going to try and convince me to make a bunch of moves to the outside, right? We know each other's strengths. People would be surprised by this, but we do not spend hours and hours and hours together. Like, we connect every single day for a moment in time. What, 30 minutes a day, maybe, mm-hmm. Right? But I don't ever have to wonder, what's Jayson been up to all day? Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call. Okay. I don't ever have to wonder that. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I know what Jayson's been up to all day, and he knows what I've been up to all day. The same thing we said we were going to do yesterday, right? Take over the world.
Every day.
So together, I feel like you find a running mate that can accentuate what you're doing, right? And that's how I feel about it.
Okay. I feel, listen, so everything he said, I back 100%. And the other thing I'll say is, like, I envision, like, if you put it into like an animal thing, right? Like, you got two lions that know what their strengths are and the areas that they have it at. But like, instead of like most people when they start coming together where they try to eat each other, we just went like, all right, dude, I see you, bro. He sees me, I see you. We're cool. We turned our heads like this and we went and ate everybody, right? So, but it's the mutual respect for understanding each other's skill sets. Like, I mean, I'll take it to what Andre said. Like, no, I mean, if I had to at all costs, could I potentially learn what Andre's learning and do the things he does? Yeah, I guess if I absolutely had, I don't want to at all in any stretch of the imagination. Could he do what my strengths are? Yeah, of course. Anyone can eventually figure it out. But we have a mutual respect for each other and then what our gifts and talents are. Like, dude, I've never seen anybody, like, we joke, we're like a perfect business partner couple, right? And this is why I say this, right? No, I'm not gonna say the words I like to, Andre, you don't say couple around where Andre came up from. But listen, no, but here's what I say. We joke about this. Like, I am a super, Leroy, you know this. I'm a 3 a.m., get out of bed, hit the gym. Morning, I'm like a freaking, I'm like bouncing off the walls like a freakazoid. Like, in the morning, I'm like all in, right? Andre, literally, right? He's a night owl, dude. Like, we joke, like, we're the perfect business partner because we're 24/7. Like, he stays up late at night. He tells me good night. I get up at 3 a.m. I tell him, hey, good night, good morning. We say good, and then we do our things. But we've never once, in the whole time I've met him, ever had. We don't see eye to eye on everything right away, but we've never had a massive disagreement. We've never tried to check each other's, like, who we are as people. Like, we just respect where each other at and what we do. And I'm telling you, that's why when I say they don't know what's coming, like they're trying to figure it out. Andre literally says, I'm not going to say this part, but Andre said like, but they're all trying to figure it out. They're trying to, you can't figure it out. It's unfigure outable because it's not a tangible thing. Like, and at the end of the day, I just think we just know, like, I'm very good at distribution. Like, I'm great at building relationships super fast, putting things together. And Dre, if you even say a word, hey, can we create this? Like, his brain, I've never met anyone that go into creation mode and put into action faster. I keep telling everyone, stop talking to him. Put like a tin thing over his head. Like, he's like, I joke about like the X-Men. He's like, what's that guy, Xavier? Like,
Xavier.
Don't let his brain, like, I'm like, cover it up. No. Like, because he can create things so fast, right? I've never seen it before. And then like he just learns things quick and picks it up and studies it. So he's like that creation brain, move it forward. Where he grew up and where he came from, he's got this edge to him that it's a pure heart, but like then you bark too hard, you're gonna see it real quick, right? So he's got all these tangibles. And then I always joke, I'm like the Care Bear shooting out the hearts there. Hey, but we both, we both know how it works together, synergy to build what we're building. Cause like he said, our hearts are the same in what we're trying to get done. But I think that's really what it is, man. If I were to break it down, it's actually having mutual respect for each other to where we know each other's strengths and we're not trying to overstep. And when it's his time to win, like, bro, I hope we talk about it in the show. I'm so proud of him. He just bought the freaking most expensive house on the top of Verado Mountain, and everyone. Oh, bro, like, but like, I'm
nice,
bro. I'm genuinely excited. Like, it isn't like bull crap. Like, oh, like he knows. Like, I've been talking. Oh, and then he tries to pass it to me. I'm like, keep the ball, bro. This ain't my ball yet, right? Like, I've watched how hard you worked to get here. I met you when you had everything and decided to let that go through whatever happened in your life at that moment, and then I met you in this 2 slabs of what he says in his computer, which is true. I was there. And then I see where him and his family are now. And I just got to see the journey of it. And you're just on it for the ride. But like, man, we're genuinely excited for each other. It doesn't like, people say it, Leroy. Come on, bro. You watch it. We've been around so many people that say they're successful. And when one person starts to exceed higher, they try to smush them down, or they're not really trying to back them up. Like, we don't got none of that. That's what I'm saying. It's not a tangible thing you can put your hand on, I guess.
Here's because I was thinking about that while you were talking.
Say it.
Not one time, never, have I had one slight feeling about that jealousy energy, that envy energy. And I've never felt it from Jayson either, right? So like, if he's the star, I'm running right behind him in the shadow, feeling great. Right. And it's hard to come by that. And I'm going to give some credit to Jayson, which a little bit gives credit to me because I feel the same way. Is like, we don't have an ego in this. When we say like, hey, it's great. Like, I'm hearing you guys say it. I'm acknowledging it. I'm super proud of the accomplishment of buying a house. It's just a house. Right. I understand it's a thing that inspires. But we're more concerned about lifting everybody else up.
Boom.
Right? He is a true servant leader. And I feel like I am too, right? Because the whole time as he's talking about the accomplishment, all I keep thinking about is the house next door he's getting, and I can't wait for it. And then we're both thinking we cannot wait to get our friends in those hills with us.
Bro.
Right? This, to me, the reason I'm excited about it, right? And this is the way I feel like Jayson is. The reason I get excited, if I'm going to get excited about it, is because of what it means for everybody else, right? I feel like God called me literally, hey, make a statement. You're being too quiet right now. People do not understand what you're doing because you're being too quiet. So I made a statement, right? I'm making a statement, but the statement is this is where we all are headed.
Hey, bro, we'll be calling it Universal Wealth Mountain, bro. We got all types
taking over the city.
Right? We got Universal Wealth Mountain. Hey, listen, listen, this is not a joke. So we go through the process, and guys, this is what's cool, and I won't go through all of it, but the back and forth on like, Is it the right decision? Now we got a company, we got a lot of stuff going on where we talk to him. We're chopping up. We're like, dude, it's the moment, right? I said, bro, it's the moment. He said, it's the moment. We talked it through, right? But as soon as it's going, there's a vacant lot and then another house for sale. That's the one we keep talking. Hey, that's where I'm going to move in. We got this little thing going. We got a little thing breaking down, right? But the lot comes up, and right away he calls me. He's like, bro, we got to get the lot. We got to get the lot. Like, no one can live in between us. That's going to be weird. Like, that's not going to work. We'll get it. And then who knows who's going to go there? Like, hey, who knows? Maybe another teammate. Who knows yet, right? But ain't no one living in between. So boom, within seconds, boom, we're like, okay, we're going to get that lot done. But the whole premise of the whole thing is what he just said. Like, this is not about us. It's about what is it setting for everybody else. And dude, within literally, I'm not kidding you, within 20 minutes of him, he didn't even post it. The real estate agent posted up. I shared the wrong post. I'm stuck at this. I just gave everyone the wrong login. So I shared the wrong post, right? And I'm like on there, and my buddy that I've known for a long time lives in that area. He's like, man, we've been wondering who's going to buy that house. You know, I know. Proud I got to feel to say my boy bought the house. Like, I know we're owners of the company. I get on it, but like, this is my boy, dude. Like, I'm like, my boy bought that house. I'm not going to say what I said earlier today because I don't know if that's good for the show, but I think it's
funny. Because every time
you know what I said, Andre, I'm not going to say. I think it's hilarious. But dude, like, you know what's cool though, and we'll get to the next question. I saw he did a quick little video, right? And everyone else probably saw when he panned around to the house and oh my God, it's huge, dude. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful home, right? What I saw was Jackson, because I know his son. And that kid is the cutest, most shy, most nervous little kid ever. He's the greatest little kid, but dude, he is like, when you hear Andre roar like a lion, like I'm like, oh, he's the cutest kid ever. and I told Dre, I said, Dre, bro, he doesn't get it yet. He's how old's Jackson?
He's 4. Yeah, he's 4.
I know he's 4, but he's 4. Okay. He's 4 years old. My daughter's 5 right there. Bro, he's running on there. Doesn't have a clue what the hell he's running on. He has no idea. He's just like, oh, shit. The balcony's all big, and he's just full of joy. And I'm like, dude, you're changing generations of your family. I know we're doing it for other, but for a minute, I told him, stop for a second, and you know where you came from. We don't want to go into all today. You actually know. You're the only one that knows the foster care that go through everything. Tell me you met the woman that actually cared for you in your 20s or some crap, right? I'm like, and to stand there, like, it's bigger than us, dude. And we didn't get ourselves there. It's all God, man. There's no other way to put it out there. We're just vessels that run. So anyway, man, I know I get off on these questions a long way, but I think I got way off to answer your question. But the reality is,
no, you on point. You on point.
Like, this is what it like. This
is exactly what it looks like, man.
Dude, that's what I keep telling him. God, we need real, man. The world has so much fake in it. I'm tired of it. He knows how tired of it. I got to be very careful. Sometimes I start talking trash. That's not the way to go about it. It's not the right way.
Okay.
Let's go.
Now you're heating me up. My third question.
You're heating me up.
Okay. My journey. WFG, Xperia Financial, Vantage.
Those are cute little companies you're with us.
And now we're here. Universal Wealth of Virginia. That's awesome, ain't it?
I love it. I saw it on there, man. I saw it on there.
Okay. Andre, this question is for both of y'all. Andre, I relate to you because objection 403. And when I looked that up and found out exactly what it was, I was like, damn, that's clever. Jayson, I relate to you because of how far we go back. From the day you came to speak and I had to take you to your room, which was the wrong room. We had to come back and get you, take you to the right room.
That was funny.
Out of all of this, looking at where we at now, your journey from where you came from, Dre, the journey from where you came from, Jayson, what was the major challenges that you two face as partners, and how did you overcome it?
I'll say my part. I don't want to call it a challenge, but he identified things faster than I was able to see because of maybe relationships I had or certain things. And I would say trusting that judgment sooner. It's all a journey, but I would say, I wouldn't say it's a chat, like, but that's, you know, sometimes people see a lens that you don't see. So if you, and it's with my spouse, I could name a lot of people, but when we talk us specifically, that's what I would say for me. There was things that he noticed that I didn't pick up on right away, that if I can go back and say hindsight's 2020, I would have picked up on some of those things quicker. And it maybe just would have carved off a little bit. I think we have to go down the journeys we go down. But I'd say that would be it. I wouldn't say, so I don't know if you call it a challenge. It wasn't between us more. It's just something but it won't ever happen again. And it hasn't happened since that moment. I tell you that right now. So that's where you learn from it quick. So that's what I would say for me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, what's funny, man, when you're doing the right things for the right reasons, whenever you're doing something great, there's going to be adversity, right? Adversity comes at us every single day. There's something that's going to go wrong when you're moving forward, right? Those are not the challenges we faced, right? And to the thing Jayson's talking about, yeah, you know what? I came in from a different angle than you guys, right? I didn't grow up in this business. So I had a fresher set of eyes.
Right.
And I built businesses myself, and maybe had more times I had to work with someone at that kind of level. So I was at a different vantage point.
I like
right? But it was easy. And here's why. God has a plan all the time, right? So for me, it was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. And I could have been, right? And it wasn't about like, we just got to go through the journey and find out what it is. And we found out what it was. We kept on moving, right? That's it. Like, there's adversity. We don't have to attach a bunch of feelings to it. We don't have to think about what would have happened if we would have zigged back there instead of zagged. We just keep moving. And there's a blessing in everything, right? There's a blessing in every. So we learned so much about this industry, about working with one another, about working with other people, what works, what doesn't, what we like, what we don't. So my initial thought to your question is there's not been a challenge at all.
I wouldn't say, no challenge.
We have been killing it and exponentially increasing every single week, every single month, regardless of what's going on.
Well, it's funny about that too. Like, I started to think back, but like, bro, like we haven't talked about any of that stuff. Like, dude, no one will ever probably believe us, but we haven't said a word about any of the stuff once we made a decision to make the move here and do it. Mm-hmm. Last night we had a conversation with somebody, and we haven't talked. It's like, geez, like we everything. Anytime you do something big, and when I say big, it's anything. I'm gonna start working out. Like, it could be anything that you say in your life. Right when you spit it out, there's gonna be all types of obstacles that come your way, or something that's gonna stop you from doing what you got to get done. But we both got to a point in our life where it starts like it's just like a little speed bump. It's not even a speed bump. It's like those little tiny ones and you just move through it. But I would just say we don't look at things as challenges. We look at them as learning experiences. You keep moving. So, but for us together, I know it sounds crazy, but like we don't think our thoughts are very aligned. We go about things differently, but dude, we're in complete domination over the whole industry. So all this stuff is so little. Like,
I was thinking that, man. I was thinking like it's winning not as great as you could have won, but you still won.
I mean, just won. Like,
right?
Yes.
We are winning and dominating. And it was like, it's like, oh man, we won that game by 35 points instead of 42 points. Right? It feels like that. And then it's like we're like sponges, man. We're trying to soak it in. We're learners, we're leaders all at the same time. So there's no time really to like, hey, we made that error in defense. Let's fix it because the game's still going. Right? Bro. So there is not an ego between us. I mean, that's the simplest version of that is there is absolutely no ego between us. None.
that's what I was trying to say. Like, bro, there were some very intense moments. And let's look at this twisted. There were some very intense moments that happened, but we never turned on each other. We're like, all right, we're in this together and we're going to figure it out. Even when he's like, all right, dude, I'm feeling this, but I'll back you. But like, just did this and this. So, and vice versa. Like, even though we were in intense situations, and dude, I mean, all seriousness, some of the biggest ones that if you take all the ramifications around it, right? They were pretty big at that moment of where we were at together in business. And dude, but Leroy, if you were there, you'd have been like, is something wrong with these two dudes? Like, they're not even like, it's not even phasing, because when you're intersynced, like we could have turned, he could have easily been, hey, I told you, we could have went like that. We don't even talk to each other like that. I don't know how to, that's what I'm trying to explain. Like, we don't have that lens. And Leroy, it's been the way I've been with you. Let's be real for 1 minute. Bro, I met you, dude, you were story in your career when I met you, dude, military service, your wife is super successful. Like, bro, you were doing a thing on the side. Like, let's be real for a minute. Like, you were very successful. Kind of like you and Andre, I laughed because kind of we're like the same. Like, Andre was doing that on the side of already being a multimillionaire, right? When we first started in the industry. Now we've dwarfed into what it is. But when I met you, Leroy, like, I feel a lot the way I felt about you when I met Andre. Like, but I seen what he was building and doing. So my point to all of it is, Leroy, we've never got into it. We've been disagreed on some things. There are some things that happened in our tenure of relationship. Yeah. But there's a level of respect that you start having for each other. I'm telling you, no other company has it at the leadership level like we have. It's not there. It's I don't want to say the word fake, but it's like talking here, and then as soon as they start talking, it's behind the back. All that we're around it. We've seen it all, right? Like, I'm not going to say any names because I'm not going to do that today. But like, we're on and we're getting calls from other people at high ranking in other companies, like, hey, why don't I put my blah, blah, blah here and do this over here? And I'm like, wait, hold on a second. What are you talking about? Like, what? And these are big companies. I'm big company, $150 million, $1 billion companies, and getting offered certain things. And I'm like, we're looking at each other like, what is going on, dude? Like, but then it turns to, no wonder we still have this lack of financial literacy problem. No wonder no one's getting the right help. No one's actually even trying to care of the problem. They're all either trying to lace their own pockets, get their name out there, build something else. I know I'm getting off subject again, but the reality is, like, it's not, what you're seeing is not there. Leroy, you've been to some of the major ones. So, we've been around, we've seen it. It's not what it appears to be. And it's not the new person coming in. They don't know no different. They're in there trying to take care of their family, make the extra $500. It's masked almost down here, but we've been in we got a seat to the show. So I'm like, whoa, like, it's happening up here. It's not happening down here. And that's where our heart, like, oh, hell no, we ain't doing this no more. Like, this little game, you think it's a game? This is people's livelihood. When someone takes time away from their family after work to have to go out and try to do this, this is not easy. This is freaking hard. Like, you got to get out there. You have to take rejection. You got to learn to be an entrepreneur. We all did it. It's not easy. And I'm like, and they're playing a game with it. So on a tonality, like, we both know this part. That's why we don't go, why would I be going after him? Me and him are on the same mission. Hey, let me beat you. What are you, 12? We're freaking adults, bro. In the most, this industry, outside of your faith and other stuff that goes in your life, money is flowing through everything in life. And if you don't understand it, you're done. You're done. And it's not a game. So I think that's too, like, where you start to feel some of the, like, how can we have an ego towards each other if this is what we say the mission is?
Right.
It don't make no sense to me.
I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. If you start out from the place, like, I literally will not succeed unless I lead someone to pass me.
Boom.
Right? And then once one does it, that means a lot of others can do it too. All I'm trying to do is accentuate the path, light the path to make it easier for others. And Jayson has the same energy. However he says it, it's the same thing. We're not looking at anyone like competition. We're all trying to win this game against financial literacy. And this is why I start out saying, we talk about a house. Great. that house doesn't end financial literacy.
Nope.
Right? So we're focused on the goals, and the little things that happen in between, whether they're going to be categorized as negative or they're going to be categorized as monumental, don't matter until we win the game.
Boom.
That's right. That's right. I totally agree.
Hey, I'll say this too, though. The thing about the reason I brought up the house thing is this, like, I don't know. I think he's going to have some different neighbors. We live right in this neighborhood, but I think those neighbors might have a little more influence on certain things we need to get done based off of where we're now positioned. And I think if you think of it that way, now you're up there and everyone there has some type of power or pull in whatever decision making they make. And they don't even know who just joined the neighborhood. They don't got a clue. They have no clue. Like, don't come up the hill. Do not come up the hill, because you're about to get imprinted with our brain into your brain. And if you come up the hill thinking you're going to, whatever your power influence isn't for the good, well, we took the top of the mountain to make sure the rest of the mountain does the right thing. And I'm like, I know it sounds deep. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I'm telling you that if you're in that area, I don't know, some of them run massive healthcare. They run like most of the healthcare clinics on this side of town, like all time. I'll get into all, but they obviously now God said, all right, Dre, now it's time to put you here. Now let's take this mission, this statement on not just in financial services and in everything that we think in our life. And let's go imprint it, because you can't go higher than that part of where it's at. Everyone's going to know who's at the top of the hill. Who's on the top of the hill. I'm very surprised when they show up. But we're putting back down the hill, baby. They ain't gonna be in a positive way. But dude, that's why I'm excited, because the right person's at the top of the hill. I'll leave it there. I'm not gonna keep going on that. And for deeper purposes, then yeah, we have a house on the hill. Yeah, it's cool. It's gonna be awesome. And you give people hope, but they don't know. They don't know what's up.
I can't wait to visit, Dre.
Oh yeah.
Get in that house.
Until you visit. Yeah, we got, oh man, just what feels good is universal wealth is at the top of the hill, the one we wanted to be on top of, right? And what we stand for as a company is real.
Boom.
Right? And now it expands and extends from there. So it's a blessing. I feel honored. But we haven't, I keep, in another 100 days, we will be talking about outlandish stuff. And it's just how God wants us to be right now. Right? I said on another recording, we may as well be AI. That's what it feels like. Right. It feels like we're AI and everyone else doesn't know the technology.
Yep.
Right? So in another 100 days, we're not going to be talking about no silly house. Right?
You're right. Okay, that brings me to question number 4. How do you ensure that the both of you stay in line to keep the company's vision and the company's goal as the business evolves?
I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world. It's the easiest thing in the world to me, because we're not marching to the beat of our own drum. Look, Jayson Bove is not following Andre Pennington, and Andre Pennington's not following Jayson Bove. We are following God. Now, for every listener out there, you can call that Jesus Christ. You can call that Buddha. You can call that Ernest Holmes, the science of mind. I don't care what you call it. But what I do know is this, without a shadow of a doubt, that universal all power energy is infiltrating through us. And every day we wake up and ask for the courage to be able to follow.
And we say the same thing every morning, both of us. Lead me, guide me, show me the way. Boom, done. I'm fast on this answer. Hey, you know how? You got to be centered properly. If this would have happened when I was in my mid 30s or 20s, this company would not be the way it is. I wasn't the man at that point in my life that could have led anything like this 100%. God made it right for this right time at the right moment when it was supposed to happen. And even the stuff that we say we went through before, it was supposed to happen somewhere else. Sometimes in your life, those hard trials are supposed to happen before the moment that it happens. And dude, I was not anywhere of the character person I am now at age 43 with everything I've been through. And I'm appreciative of all the stuff I've been through. It would have been a shit show. I'm gonna be honest with you. It would not have been where it needs to be. And here's the funny part. And this is what we'll both tell you, bro, we're still growing every day. We talked about this everyday journey, man. We want to sit back. Okay, we made it. We're harder on ourselves than anyone else could ever be. And then we spot check each other. Like seriously, like, well, hey, did you do your date night? Hey, did you do this? And believe me, we were not perfect. If we brought our spouses on, we'd probably have a whole other conversation going on right now. I mean, but we're trying to do the best that we can do. And then we hold each other accountable to the things that no one holds each other accountable to. We don't sit there and be like, hey, how big's your next house? We don't even talk about this crap. Literally popped up and did it. We're saying, hey, I'll be like, bro, I know your brain gets going. You were up all night last night. Go to bed, bro. Like you need to sleep. And then he's like, all right, shut up. You're getting up at 3:00 in the morning. But Leroy, this is very important. So then if we're talking to each other like this, why do you think the relationship we both have with you is the way it is? Why do you think the relationship we have with, I see Jesus on here, the way it is? Shane, Tony's responding on it. It doesn't matter where Cindy, I just
saw Jake on here too. Yep.
The reason that is because we do this to each other and then you pass that down. So the way that we know is it's never about us like that. I know it'll seem that way to the lower mind thinking person or someone from the outside trying to cause a wedge in between, which, they have, by the way, trying to cause a wedge in between.
Sure.
What did you say? Impenetrable faith.
Impenetrable faith.
Use a big word I can't use. I say the way faith word, right? But you can't crack it, faith, right? He's a lawyer. He's got some big. Sometimes he says words I don't know what he's talking about. Right. But we both have that. We both.
I think this sums it up. If you really let's let this be the last time we bring up the house, okay?
Yes.
But if you really want to know the true story of how that happened, Jayson got excited about the house he was buying, right? I was excited for him. I was with my son and I said, let's go up and see Jayson's house, right? So we drove up the hill to see the house he was talking about. And while I was up there, I looked over and saw another house that just got done being built. And then I said, I'm going to buy that house. If Jayson's going to live here, then I'm going to buy this one. And then I had to, hopefully my wife was going to agree with me, right?
Yes.
It's no rocket science, man. But I will tell you this. I was looking at it happy because I know what it's going to do for everyone else, right? Sure. I know what it means. And when I looked over, there was a little whisper and I felt connected and it felt like the right thing to do. So I said, okay, I will do that. Right. And it's like, I also don't want this moment to be about like, that could have been done 5 years ago.
Yes.
Right. Like, I don't want this moment to be like, oh, there's new wealth or something. Like, no. There is no new wealth. I've been making millions for a lot of years. Right. But the idea is like, I've never tried to announce it. I've never tried to be blatant with it. I've always tried to stay exactly me. I never forget where I came from.
Right.
And I'm going to relate to that and have gratitude for everything that's given. But that's the real story. It felt right. And I was actually going up there to support Jayson and get the vision that Jayson had. And then God blessed me with a vision, a vision that had something to do with me in the moment that I was capable of doing.
Fact.
And that's how we know it's good. Like there's this equation, like you can't figure it out if you're not connected. How are you doing it? I'm connected.
Oh.
And we are connected. We're not perfect.
Oh.
We're not perfect. We're flawed. I know he's flawed. I don't expect perfection out of Jayson Bove. I expect him to be the imperfect version of him following his higher power. And then I promise to do the same. It will never end.
Ever.
It will never end.
Hey, bro, Leroy, come on. Now, in sports, we're like old as hell. We're like in our 40s. We'd be done. Let's just hang it. We have a couple more years, hang it up. Tom Brady, I think, went 2 more, right? But in business, you think God made a mistake? I'm 43. He's 4. I'm the younger, better looking version. I'm saying. I'm kidding.
Oh,
yeah, but listen, we're in business in your 40s, right? You can do it younger too. So I'm just saying, but we are primed for the next 20, 30 years with all the experience. Like, there are no mistakes. And I'll tell you, Leroy, it kind of goes back to their stuff, like what we see, and he relates it to the AI, right? But what we see is a very outdated, archaic way of them doing this industry. It's over. Like, I'm telling you, listen to me. It's over. Like, over. If anyone's going to watch this and they're, look at these guys. It's over. They talking billions. It's trillions. They don't even know what the game they're in anymore. I'm going to leave it at that. All right, back to Leroy. There you go, sir.
Okay.
I'm going to stop there. Hey, I'm heating up. I know the question's coming. Heating up. Hey, ho.
Okay. I'm going to throw this at y'all.
It's like Fred Flintstone. They run around like with their feet in these little cars, and we're like, bro, even the Jetsons had it right back then. The spaceships flying around, baby. You don't even know what the hell's going on, right? Hey, Fred Flintstone, yabba dabba doo. I'm like, all right, baby, we out the gate, bro. Leroy, the last 2 days, last night and today, Andre, they don't, dude.
Hey,
let me say one thing. They say, oh man, like Transamerica bought WFG, right? I remember that, right? I watched it. I've studied all of it, right? Right. That's cool. What if there was a company that just was all of it? Like, why you got to buy each other? Why can't there be a brain to do it all? I'll leave it there. Hey, don't say that. I'm leave there. Hey, no, but listen. Listen, one thing we are good at, and you have to be this way. You got to study the greats. At one point, they were great. And there's no disrespect here. We at one point, they were all great.
Yeah.
So you have to have respect and pay it to what it was. But bro, did anyone just see that baseball player get paid $765 million or something for 15 years? What the dude, Andre?
26 years old.
A baseball player back in the day was like, "Can I make $2 million?" This guy made $765, and he strikes out more than he hits the ball. We're gonna be wealthy, dude, right? But my point is, this is the time to peak in this industry. This is the time to use that little creation brain that Andre has. Even though I wish he slept a little more, but that little creation brain that he's got, that you take the model and then you make it better. That is it. It's just it's slight upgrades for where we're at today. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm done with my Andre.
Hey, let me say my little piece on it. Again, outside the industry, I'm gonna be real. Are we allowed to cuss on this show?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I walked in. It's like, what the fuck is everybody doing? Like, this is my real feeling. Like, have you ever seen that movie? It was with not Adam Sandler. The other little. He was in Along Came Polly. What's his name? I can't.
God, now you're gonna get me. I know you're talking
the whole moment.
I know.
Anyway, but the idea was one of those wedding ones where the best friend's jealous of the girl, and the guy came from Ireland and starts dunking on everybody, and everybody had this shocked look, and he like looked around and was like, "Oh, is that not allowed?" I was wondering why none of you were doing it. Like, that's how I felt. Like. This is exactly how I'm feeling. Yeah, no, it's not Adam Sandler. It's
not Rob Schneider.
He's in Along Came Polly. Somebody Google it and then you can put it in there. So it felt like that, but in a way of like, okay, now we have mentors and leaders we can follow, and they weren't. They weren't at all. They were vultures. and how much advantage can I take of somebody?
Fact.
Right? Well, now that's where the higher calling comes from. We're trying to follow, and we're not recognizing God is calling us to lead.
Mm.
And if there was a challenge that we both faced, and I think Ben Stiller, and if there's a challenge that I think we both faced that was difficult, it was acknowledging that we had to lead in all of our capabilities. And then we're going to have to tap into everything that God gave us and become more than in that moment we believed we were.
Perfectly.
Now the chains are off, right? We're in the matrix. We know we could stop the bullets. We know we can dodge them. We know we can dive into the agents and obliterate them. And now we're doing it. Whoever didn't run with us in the past will be eating sour grapes for the rest of their lives. They fucked up, Leroy, and they let us in and they let us loose. And we see all of you. And we are taking this shit over.
Which leads me to my next question.
Point real quick on this question. Listen, God, listen, he will let you see enough, not all of it.
Right.
But what happened on this last year for us is he let us see enough of everything to be able to come to what you're seeing. Like he opened up enough. We had to make certain moves to get in certain things. So that's why it's all part of what it is. But we saw that something we didn't get to see. But then he would just gives you enough and then says, all right, are you gonna listen or not? Like you and then we could have chose at the final hour, we were offered. If it was just about us, oh my God, we were offered literally like all these other sellouts, they easily. And we said, bro, it's already been, the part you're not understanding, it's already been done. Like you don't get it yet, but God will give you little glimpses and you have to move, man. I'll leave it there. And that's where that energy is coming from that you feel from him. We got to see behind the curtain. Just what are you going to do about it now? Are you going to be like everybody else? And God, as soon as it all got laid out, we got it gifted. And we said, no, we've already seen behind the curtain. If we don't do what's right now, we are just like everybody else.
That's the point though.
Yes.
Like
yes.
we had the moment to sell out like they all had.
Yes.
And that would have meant literally failing the people that depend on you. And it's kind of like when I became a father. I didn't understand the gravity of what happened in the past until it became my turn to be the protector. And then when I got there, then I felt the pain, right? Because I realized the failure of the past, that I just didn't have enough viewpoint to see, right? And then it became real to me, like this is exactly why you are the way you are, right? You're not trying to do better. You're greedy and you're trying to get more, right? You're not trying to lead people to a better place. You're trying to lead them into a place that you can take by themselves unguarded, right? And I don't want anybody who stepped forward. There's a few in my mind, especially that I drastically respect, right? So anybody who talked to me in the past, don't think I'm talking to you, but there are some that these are absolutely true statements, right? And some people came with their best footing and it was just not the right timing.
Yep.
Right. But I'll leave it at that. But we are taking over, man. Like there's nothing that can stop it from happening. Nothing.
Okay. Now, I've never shared this with anybody, but I'm going to share this with you too. There's an article that I have, and I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can blow it up real quick. Okay. I don't know if you could see that. Can you see that?
Man wanted and wife's death.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That is the one thing that keeps me humble. This is an article pertaining to my mother. My mom was killed by her husband. And if you read the last part of the article, it states the fight was witnessed by her son, then 12 years old, who was taken in by a neighbor friend following the stabbing. Now, I always keep this article on my phone because despite everything that we've been through, the constant learning, the bad leadership, the backstabbing, so on and so forth, we're at Universal Wealth now. We have totally changed the game. We just had Thanksgiving. What is the one thing that the two of you are thankful for when it comes to Universal Wealth?
All of you.
Yep.
All of you. That's a fact. That's easy, right? Individuals are capable of individual things. A multitude of people, two or more people gathered under one roof is a church. And in my mind, a church is a movement. And we have good people with good intentions actually focused on the problem, right? And we can say financial literacy, but let's dig deeper than that. All we're trying to do is educate in the reality that we're actually living in, right? Let's know all the rules. Let's know all of our options. And then we just want everyone to have a choice to be more of God, of who God intended them to be. And I can't do that as an individual. I can get houses, I can get cars, and I can take care of my family, and I can do me. But a movement requires everyone else. And I personally feel honored to be a part of Jayson Bove's movement, and that God has blessed me with some ability to give a positive twist in this. So for me, it's easy. Like every single person that says, I want to be a part of this movement, that's what I'm grateful for.
And I say the same thing. And honestly, I'm thankful that God picked all of us to be here during the largest wealth transfer ever. Like he's picking, like we're Leroy, come on, dude. Like for hands down, everybody within our organization, but it's deeper than that. Everyone that's going to come in to the organization. But man, I'm so thankful that during a time with the group of people that we have, we could transform this industry, but that we've all been chosen to be here right now. It's mind blowing to me. $84 trillion of baby boomers. 59% don't even has never had help. Andre's dealing with them every day. Like when we intersected in that office and I saw what was happening, these people that were supposed to be retired and living the dreams and how they're being taken advantage of. It just another notch was like, damn it, like what it's really happening. We're seeing it, but we have been Leroy, bro. Like us three on this screen and anyone in our organization, honestly, anyone that actually has a life and health license, maybe you're the wrong company, whatever's going on, I don't care. But like we are chosen to be here right now. I'm so grateful that we get to be here right now when the largest wealth transfer happens and so many people need help. Like if we all stop for a minute and think about that, like, why us, man? Like I tell myself, God, I mean, I know why, but I'm like, man, like my one brother was like a retired military. The other one was like a nurse. I'm kind of the middle kid. Like you start to think about, I had a kid at 17 years old. Like, but dude, I'm thankful that what we're about to do as a company, not us three, the whole company, and we're about to do this industry, and our great grandkids are going to be able to look back and say, damn, during that financial wealth revolution, you guys were part of the movement. And like, to me, that's what I'm grateful for. I'm like, man, I get to be here. This is unreal to me. Yeah, all the money, the houses, all this stuff's dope. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be awesome. It's cool. And we're going to see people do it and do things they've never done in their life. That's just a byproduct of your hard work. That's all you're seeing. hard work, doing the right thing enough times over and over again, these are the results you get, right? And sometimes you got to let people know we've arrived, baby. Okay, you got to do it sometimes, right? But like, that's it. But the reality is, if we all stop for a minute, we're all chosen to be here. God picked us. We know what it's going to take.
I totally agree because
we keep saying we're taking over. Like, and we're very confident what we're going to do, right? And it doesn't mean someone else can't get big. There's going to be tons of companies that do this right and get big. That's the only one that's going to happen. But we will be one of the mainstays when you say a name a decade from now. I promise you, they'll know who Universal Wealth is and what we did. But it's actually understanding that we've been picked to be on the front line with all of our imperfections and all the great things we do. I'll leave it there. That to me, bro, I can't stop thinking about it. I'm like, man.
Well, I agree. Which brings me to question number 6. My wife said to me, why are you still in this industry? Why are you still doing this, sweetie? And I said to her, 1, because I believe in Jayson and I believe in Andre. And she said, are you serious? I said, very much so. Now we know WFG put a bad taste in my wife's mouth.
Oh, dude.
And she just was like, I'm not having this. I'm done. I can't do this no more. And I understand that. But when you say God puts everything, and you never know the path God's going to take. When Jayson came to Chicago, there was a reason he came to Chicago. Because when Frank said, hey, you're going to take the guests to their hotel room, first thing that came out my mouth, I ain't no freaking chauffeur. Do you mean I ain't taking them nowhere?
I love it.
Frank was like, no. I want you to take them so you can have one-on-one with the guest speaker. I said, well, you should have put it like that the first time.
That would have been a better way to say it.
What the hell is wrong with you? I ain't no chauffeur. So he was like, no, I didn't. He said, Matty came out wrong, but I didn't mean it that way. I said, well, since you put it that way, yeah, I'll take him to his room, which was the best thing that ever happened to us because we was going through some battles at the time.
Yep.
Now, I come to Phoenix, first time in Arizona, loved it. I meet Andre in person. Now, I was already hooked on his story because I can relate to his story because everything that he's done and been through, I pretty much been through the same thing, but a different route. Looking at all of this in a whole of you two and looking at the teams that we have, you can't see the picture behind me because my green screen is up.
I can see it.
I have that whole picture of when we was all on the stage for Vantage.
Massive picture.
And when people come in my office and they see that picture, they say, man, that's a pretty big team. I said, nah, that's family. Which gives them a whole different aspect on what our company is. He said, well, your company is Universal Wealth. I said, yeah, it is. But in Virginia, it's Universal Wealth of Virginia. So that's the difference. When we go to Arizona, it's Universal Wealth. But here, this is what it is.
I love
and
it.
This is what we offer. So looking at how we're changing the game, what was the one thing that the two of you thought that Universal Wealth has to become what it is because of how the industry is?
Go ahead, Drake. What, I got mine, but I'll let you go first. What do you got?
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's going to feed off each other. And we said it in so many words so far through here. It's just what's very unique about Universal Wealth is that it's since we're two-pronged brained, like we're there's two brains running at the same pace, there's distribution, which that's where I grew up in. It's all that's what I've known in financial services, distribution. And I can tell you 1,000 things that need to be corrected in there. I'll maybe highlight a couple, right? That is just outdated. It's a 40-year industry, everything else, right? But then when my brain is spending all day, every day on that, this dude's brain is like, bro, there's a whole professional market out there of people that have wealth like I've had. I didn't know what the hell this was till you showed me what it is. We need to help them too. So there's not a company on the planet that has the brain trust and brain power of understanding the professional market, asset protection. He's a well-renowned estate planning attorney. He's a super lawyer. I mean, I know, and sometimes I get on and I mess around. I'm not going to mess around about today. We're so close that I kind of like, oh, you know, but it's dude, like, you don't get that stuff by like tripping into it. Okay. Like, okay. But it's when you have a mind that is so passionate about it. What's funny about us, and I'm going to finish my thought here. Like, I'll get going and it's literally distribution. Like, I will go on for an hour. Like, oh, and then he's listening. He's like, okay, that's cute. That's cool. And then he's like, are you done? Okay. And he's like, he just spouts his brain about the profession. I'm like, are you done? Okay. And then we're like, all right, I don't really know what you said. But let's put it together. Let's go. But there's both every market is lacking this. I don't care if you have 100 million. If you're on here right now and you're like, I just sold for 100 million. I don't care if you sold for $1 billion. I swear to you, if we sit down with what we know, what that dude's brain has understood, and there's a group of people now he's training and understand. I'm not saying he's a sole proprietor, but the group, right? And his mind behind it, they need our help. We're dealing with it every day. Then we go down to middle America, where we already know the ground and pound, and the distribution channel has lost its way on what we're supposed to be doing. Here's a couple things. I'll give you a few things. Let me give you my lens. I'll give you your lens. Okay. I'll give you my lens on distribution. Why is it, Leroy, that we've been in multiple distribution channels, right, before we create our own, and every single person comes in and buys the same exact product? That sounds like an MLM. That sounds like network marketing. You all come in, you all buy the same exact, mostly in IUL right now, right? In IUL, everyone buys the same exact one from the same exact company. And you ask anyone a question and no one has a clue except for what that is. Now, there's a few people of the 70,000 that branched off with their brains and do some stuff, but the model is ran on that. Boom, 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 boom. And then I go ask people, like, let me see your product. And it's totally wrong. It's just the worst thing you ever see in your life. It's not done properly. And it's just this mill that keeps running. I voiced my opinion in that $1 billion company, and I got told, you're not big enough. Don't say another word. And I go back to bed, little baby. I said, okay, I'll go back to bed, but not in your bed, because this bed is not there. There's a fundamental break in the system of these things now that turned in. Now, if I'm a $1 billion company, I'm going to be real for a minute. If I've been doing this 40 years and I'm making $1 billion, I'm not listening to Jayson Bove either, by the way, FYI. And I'm sure going to change my model if it's producing me $1 billion. Just because it's producing $1 billion doesn't mean it's right. Just because it's making you a lot of money doesn't mean what you're doing to the people inside is right. So that's why we always say, don't get caught up in the money, dude. You get caught in the money, you're going to get lost all over the place. Just because you're in there making millions of dollars in that industry, I'm going through your downline that's now I've left, you've left, and I'm looking at what you sold them and you've ripped them all off. Doesn't mean it's right because you're making money. So in the distribution channel, I can speak from that lens. That's one area where we're like, dude, we're not doing that. It doesn't make no sense, right? Why not everyone just gets a financial needs analysis? Why don't we actually sit down and try to help your family get better? So Leroy, this sounds very not fundamental. I'm giving you one thing, how one. I'm not going to give you all of them because then that's not what we're doing today. I'm going to give you one difference. You go in there. I'm going to list a lot of them so I don't feel like I'm picking on anybody. I don't care if it's PHP, Primerica, WFG, LMNOP, GFI. It doesn't matter. You can say them all. They all dwarfed off the same 40-year model, and they're all doing the same principles. It's fine. Do what you got to do. There's a new sheriff in town. We're just going to do it the way it's supposed to be done. You figure out which one you want. That's it. We're not telling you to stay there and get ripped off all day, baby. Do what you got to do. We're not telling you what to do. There's a new sheriff in town, just like Art Williams came on the scene in 1977. He said, hey, insurance companies, you're selling this crappy-ass product. There's a new sheriff in town. Now, people made fun of him for the first 2 years, quite a bit, until he became a billionaire, okay? So the reality is there's a new sheriff in town. And Andre, and I'm going to pass it to him, he said something to me. He actually didn't say it to me. I always say he says it to me. He's actually never saying it to me. He just talks But when someone's talking and I like it, I say, they said it to me. Oh, I could be sitting audience of 100 people and the guy says something. Oh, he was talking to me. He was talking to freaking 100 people. But he said this. If this doesn't tell you what Universal Wealth's built on, because he's the actual founder of Universal Wealth. We were in WFG together. He said, bro, I love you. Even though you're overriding the most you ever did in your entire life, this ain't going to work for me. I got to go my lane. Didn't even think a second about it. Hey, bro, I respect you. I know we're going to run together forever. Go do what you got to do. He founded Universal Wealth off of some principles. I'm now in here, and yes, we have ownership, but he's the founder of the company. I'm just his beautiful twin brother. Listen, so my point is, though, this is what he said to me when we were in there and we were teaching him. This is what I love about this. Andre didn't know this stuff either when we first started. He learned. He was a multimillionaire. I mean, dude, I think I saw a couple of weeks after we sat down. His net worth was like 40. I probably shouldn't say he was going to get murdered. But anyway, it was in the 40, a lot of money, right? Millions, right? And he's like, dude, index accounts. He's learning from me, my brother-in-law, who just kept talking, right? My point to all of it is, he said, dude, I remember this thing was yesterday. He's at his desk, and he's getting very frustrated because he's now looking at all of his clients that he had been serving for a long time. And he's like, shit, I might have been not doing a very good job. Even though he was doing what was right, he was sending them over to Edward Jones. They were just running, or whatever, Edward Jones or other companies. He was sending them through to investment advisors, and they were running them through the mill. And he's like, this ain't right. And it's exactly what he said to me. All right, this is easy enough. We're just going to right the wrong. That's literally all he said to me. And I said, oh my God, I finally found someone that gets it. This is it's wrong. We're going to make it right. I swear to God, Leroy, on everything, God is my witness right now. As soon as he said those words, I was like, I found my running mate for life. We are going to right the wrong. And I'll give you one more thing. If you're at work right now and you put your money in your 401k every 2 weeks and you can't explain 1 ounce of how it works, that is wrong. The person taking your money should be explained to you. That's wrong. I think we're going to fix it. We're going to teach you how it works. If you're going to get your estate plan from Andre Pennington or any estate planning attorney, and for the first time in your life, you're looking at what your plan looks like, you don't even know what the hell's going on, we got to right the wrong. So he made it so simple, and I'm like, oh my God, I've been searching for years for someone just to say what this is. Like, this is wrong. My dad being 57 years old and not know what the hell an index account is. That doesn't even make sense to me when I showed him this 10 years ago. They've been around since 1990s, bro. Like, what the hell is going on? So anyway, I'm going to Andre, go ahead. I can tell I'm riling him up. I don't want to rile him up right now. We're trying to, but dude, Universal Wealth slogan. We're righting the wrong. Whatever wrong you want to put at the end of that sentence, it's wrong. We're going to fix it. Andre, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I forgot the question. I know what I want to say.
Say
right. That's what I
rephrase it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. When did you come to the point that universal life has to come to be because of the industry that we're in and how things were being done?
You want to know the truth? 2 weeks in, I called Jayson and I said, we got to start our own company. Two weeks after being licensed, right? And I was looking at all of it and thinking, what is going on?
Yep.
Right? Like, I know how to build companies. And I looked at the structure and I looked at what we were doing and I did a little bit more research. And I'm like, this is more of the wrong. It's a wrong that's draped in rightness.
Yes.
Right? You know how I knew?
It's a great way to put it.
You know how I knew? People didn't look at me like a human being. They didn't look at me like a person. I was told I couldn't talk to somebody unless I made a certain amount of money. The people that were winning thought they were better than me and you, Jayson. They actually believe it. They looked at us like cattle and sheep and commodities that are for sale. These guys tout that they can help and they can help you build, and all they do is leverage and purchase and buy. They have no skill set. How are you going to call yourself a financial professional if you don't have a skill set? Like, I know how to do advanced estate planning. If you want asset protection, I know how to do it in this mind because I've studied my life away trying to be an expert. When I talk to my clients, I can tell them all of the options because I actually know them. I don't pretend to know them. So I knew 2 weeks in, 2 weeks, right? It's not being done correctly. Like, all you got to do is read I read one policy and I read the other policy. Why are we selling this one? This one's better.
Yes. Fact.
And to everyone. Now, if you want to know the truth, we had a provider offer to purchase us, right? And they're going to remain nameless. And it wasn't a bad thing.
Nope, wasn't a bad thing.
But what it clicked in my mind was, we're not for sale.
Bro, Leroy,
What I would love to do.
They're talking about purchasing universal wealth.
Yeah, they wanted to purchase Universal Wealth, the company, the entity.
Yes.
Wow.
And I said,
Already, Leroy, already.
But I said, we're not for sale. But here's what I would love to do. I would love to be a part of building and designing a product that is right for people. So throw that in the back of your mind. It's bigger. It's bigger. I don't care if you're $1 billion company. I don't care if you're a multiple $1 billion company. I don't care if you make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. At the end of the day, you're either doing right or you're doing wrong.
Cool.
And we are being a part of righting the wrong. That's it. It's that simple. And we're not for sale. I don't care how much money I'm offered. I've been offered a lot through the course of this journey.
Right.
I don't care. Throw me off the bridge. It's fine. I know how to swim all around the bay. And I will still find my way back to the path and continue on to what God's asked me to do. And he asked one simple thing. You have eyes in your head, you have brains in your head, and use those for my purpose. In this industry, and I don't want to like engulf. There are a lot of good people I've met along the way. So I don't want anybody I've met along the way to think I'm talking directly about them. But it's tarnished, right? It operates like a dinosaur because it was created a long time ago. And we're doing a cookie cutter thing to make money. Everybody's trying to make money, not solve the problem. You know, and guess what? Why I have a little passion? That problem hurt me at one point in my life. And it hurt people I cared about at one point in my life. And right now it hurts people. So that's where it's never going to, this is what I'm saying. We're not for sale. It's never going to end. We're going to see it through to the conclusion. And my mind doesn't settle for anything less than everything that I'm capable of impacting in a positive way. That's why the company's called Universal Wealth, because it never ends or stops. And when my last breath happens, I will pick up my hand and pass the torch to the next group of leaders that we've created in the right image and in the right way of thinking, period.
That's why I follow you guys. You're awesome.
Leroy, do you want to know what our comp plan is? I'm just kidding. This is what these guys talk about, dude. Hey, do you want me to tell you my contract's 110? No, I'm telling you, they don't know. They just don't know, man. They just don't know. It's all good.
I always tell my agents under me.
Leroy, real quick on for a second. Don't worry, though. We're very kind. We'll take care of them. We'll take care of them. Don't you worry. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
I always tell the agents under me, when I'm talking to a client, I don't sell anything. I educate.
Yep.
Because if I ask a client a question, what can you tell me about the policy you have? 9 out of 10, they can't tell me anything because they take the policy, they chuck it, I'm insured. Okay. but what is that policy doing for you? You can't explain that.
Yeah.
So when you sit there and you educate the client is looking at you like you crazy because they was like, no other agent sat down and broke it down like that for me, where I understand what you're giving me. Why are you doing this? And I answer just as politely as I can, because we're universal wealth. That's what we do. Ain't that awesome?
Yeah. It's awesome.
So here's my question to you.
Give me chills.
This is your last question of the night. Where do you see universal wealth going and becoming here in the near future?
Starts with the T. I'm letting you say it tonight, Andre.
Hey, we're in a $1 trillion industry, and if we fail and only can accomplish 1% of what we want to do, we're $1 trillion company, right? But here's the truth. Like, the second you ask that question, for me, I don't know. I personally don't know, because I'm not limiting God in this situation, right? I'm hearing in my internal that God wants everything back. And I'm going to do everything that I'm told to do to make that happen.
I agree.
I go, well, when we fail, it's $1 trillion company. That's just math and numbers. I mean, that one's pretty easy. But I want to go what you started with why when you say because we're universal wealth, it's what we just said. I'll encompass it. Like, at the end of the day, this is it. It's very simple. You're either out there trying to make money or you're out there trying to solve the problem. We are training our agents on how to solve the problem. People need help. They need understanding. So we're going to give it to them. I mean, that's about as far as my brain thinks. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but like, it's that simple. Now, we are going to make a lot of money. Even the fact that some of us aren't geniuses, I'm going to be honest. I'll be real for a minute, right? Like, I was not a valedictorian. I wasn't the best kid in school. I worked my butt off, got what I had to get done. But there's going to be a lot of wealth because what Andre just said. God's got to put it somewhere. It's got to get moved somewhere. It's a wealth transfer. It's not a wealth like disappearance. It's a wealth transfer. It's got to transfer somewhere. So we're going to take our boat. We're all going to get in it. And we're going to go right down. And this storm's going to get crazy. And by the time it's all said and done, God's going to say, first of all, do you want to go in one boat? People are like, why do you still build? Why do you still allow recruiting in your model? Well, first of all, 54% of people in August this year said they're looking for an extra income. So we might as well have a place to give it to them. But wouldn't it be nice when we're going and we're going to go into any type of battle or go journey that we have a fleet? Would you rather go with a fleet or would you rather go with little? We know that many hands make light work. We are very passionate. And if we stay up every night for the rest of our lives, our wives are going to divorce us and it's not going to be good, so we're not going to do that. But if we stayed up every night, we can't even dent the problem. There's only 2 of us. 2. Now, I don't know why the rest of them are recruiting. I mean, I think they charge an upfront fee to make a lot of money, but I don't know why they're doing it. But for us, we understand that if we want to get this mission done, we need minimum 1 million licensed agents. I mean, minimum to even make a dent. A minimum, right? That's like scraping the surface. I don't want to leave out the other 150 million people that are working and people being born, but a minimum. So there's a mission behind the number. If we say we're gonna take a minimum, God's gonna place a minimum of $1 trillion into our ownership, which is a big responsibility, by the way. This is not a game, right? We're gonna pass that over. We ain't getting $1 trillion with 4 people, bro. It doesn't work like that. But now what happens is God busts us with $1 trillion indirectly because of our industry. That busts a lot of family to become wealthy. What if, just take this, and this is something I'll take. What if through growth and doing it the right way, we get a lot of wealthy people that come through our lineage, a lot of wealth. Now that wealth's divided out, we can go multiply. What happens to the world we live in? And I know this sounds like, wait, aren't these guys in insurance and finance and like doing annuities and bro, that's just the vehicle God's given us to go make the move. He's calling on groups of people. We happen to be in this industry. He's calling people in the real estate industry. He's calling people in the mortgage industry. And I swear to you, they're all going to line together. We're going to be right in the top with all of them. I'm telling you, there's an alignment happening. And we are called in this lane for the moment. And I keep saying, be blessed. Be here. You guys are listening to two of the owners of the company. We're not little agents in the middle of it. This is a thinking from the top. It's going to scare some people, and it's going to draw in the people we want. We say this every day.
Mhm.
God will set us who's supposed to be here. Whatever. You think you get on and some people are going to laugh at today's thing for an hour and look at these guys. They think they're going to listen to them beating their chest. They're going to be cool. It's cute. Watch us just roll down the street right by you, right? I always joke. Let's go right down Main Street. But there's people out there that resonate with this message. Leroy, the reason you're still here is because we're all real dudes. Bro, quite frankly, we've all done pretty damn well. We have skill sets. This isn't something we have to do. It's like, oh my God, you must do this. We could have all three teamed up and just went and did our own little tiny thing and been fine. But that's not what we're being called to do at this moment. It's not what it's called to do. So you get called to do something, you go do it. But I'm telling you, and I'll end on this for me. The reason universal wealth is taking over, it's not ran by men or women. You can fill in the blank. There's a higher power. We open in prayer every single day. We are welcoming in all different. Like I love what Andre says. I don't know all the different faiths. He's a little more rehearsed than me. But it's the higher power. We believe in the law of attraction, like more than you could ever imagine in your life. We believe in bringing to your life what you want, right? But if you had asked us 10 years ago, we were fighting through the journey as two men to figure out how the hell does that even work? He put it, if I don't hear Amazing Grace, I don't trust you anymore. Thank God, God's like, I got to really give it to you, bro, because I need you, and you're hard headed as a motherfucker. You actually will go run off the other side of the cliff. I'm going to play it for you, right? I mean, you guys will see other stuff that why I'm bringing that story up, but we've been through the fire to get to this point is what I'm trying to get at. Like, we've been through the fire to get right here. You know how I know? Even our families, I'm going to tell you, when you know you're on it, they're trying to figure out how does this ecosystem going to work. Our wives are awesome. To deal with us two is like, I don't even know how they do it. Can't be honest with you. but seriously, for a moment, they are great. But dude, we're also shaking their ecosystem. Think about this for a minute. Like, we are saying this is a big thing, dude. Like, so I guess what I'm trying to say is we are so blessed with everyone that's already said, I'm on the journey. Leroy, bro, you don't even know what you've done for both of us in our life. You don't have a clue. Like, you know, I've never seen that article ever, and I've known you for a very long time. You've told me your mom passed away. You didn't tell me you were the kid in the house when it happened, and then you never told me that. But you didn't have to tell me. I already felt that we connected years ago on a level for this moment. There are so many people that are on this. I saw Julie posted certain people that we connected on the journey that are here. There's people that Andre has met on the professional side of this thing that we connected with so long ago that he met along the way that are feeding us dividends right now that we didn't know was supposed to happen yet. Like, I know I'm getting deep here and I get way off track. So I feel like I'm getting off track, but I am so on the damn track. I couldn't be more on the damn track than you could ever imagine right now. I'm on it. But like, I know we can't all see everything. But that's where blind faith, and I love what he said, dude, it's unwavering, no questioning faith. And whoever does it with us right now, we need your gifts. We cannot do this without your gifts, but you have to forget sales. I'm a good salesperson. I don't need that right now. I'm good. We don't need that right now. I need unwavering faith in what the mission is. And I swear to God, and God is our witness, dude, they don't know what's coming. That's all we need. We'll teach you how to ask the right questions. It's actually simple. Okay, let me help you here. It's the same 3 slides. This is very simple, right? The products and services we offer are very simple. The need is aplenty. We want people that have unwavering faith to say, you know what? I'm feeling what you're saying and I want to run with you. Let's see where this baby goes. That's it. Andrea, I'll leave it at that because, dude, like, people ask all the time, what's your plan? The plan is we're going to wake up tomorrow and work our ass off and then figure out what happened. We're going to look at each other in a day and see what goes on. I'm being serious for a minute. Like, you say we know what the end result is, ready, because we're a $1 trillion industry, $1 trillion. Whatever that makes people feel about, great. We're not going to think about it for another 5 seconds. We're going to wake up tomorrow and find out who wants to get in the dirt and the mud and get dirty and go figure out this thing with us. And I swear to you, the people he's bringing us, dude, only God can be doing it. It's you can't even make sense of it. So Dre, I'm gonna stop my spot. I love you, bro. You know this more, dude. He challenges me. We push each other, dude. I love everything about him. I love when women I'm talking to him, and he's like not really screaming at me, but I think he is, but it doesn't seem like he is because it's so nice, but it's not nice. I love it, dude. I love it, bro. I love every minute of it. And you know what's best? We're still learning each other. This is what's actually scary. You know what the scariest part about this? This is like when a championship, we get on the Olympic team. And we're like, okay, I know you're a dog, I'm a dog. Let's figure out if we could do this together. The first couple of days of practice is a little weird, you know, like what do I do? I'm LeBron, you're Kobe, and it's like, but then eventually it meshes, bro. We're still learning each other. This is what people don't understand. We are still learning, bro. Forget about it, dude. Whatever. Dre, the mic's back.
Whatever, man. You know, this journey, man, is crazy, right? And I often, like, I told my son this. You know, we had a conversation, and he asked me about leadership, and I said, "You'll know you're a leader when you're forced into that position over and over and over again. I've never asked for it. It's stressful, right? I get asked how it feel. I feel stressed, and I feel like it's a lot of work, and I feel like it's a lot of responsibility, right? And that's what we're feeling at the top, right? We know the responsibility we have, but we know who has our back. You know, so when I'm asked, like, what's the goal? You pray to the same God I pray. And you ask that question to that place. The goal for me is to follow and step foot after foot as fast as I can or as slow as I can, depending on what I'm hearing. And he's integrating the right pieces along the way. And the trick is to create your own luck by being ready when it presents itself.
Fact.
You know, so we're in a place where a lot of good can be done. And we're following our instructions, period. We're just following the instructions. And when we get there, if we get there to the end, which I don't believe it's going to happen, I feel like we're going to pass the torch.
Yeah,
that's my feeling. Then we'll know. But let's talk in another 100 days because we'll be saying another few outlandish things.
Yeah. Leroy, let's set the next show for 100 days from now.
Okay.
100 days from now. Yeah, we'll set it. I want to say one funny story and I'll be done. So this morning, Andre gets on and says, man, my son, you know, we got the house and he's seen certain things and we're talking a little bit and he's like, and his son's like all fired up and he's like, bro, like you overslept your alarm a little bit, like, dude, you got to get to work, bro. Like people are like, man, you guys are like so good. Bro, we are the same way we are with our agents, with ourselves, as with our family. He tells you the story this morning. He's talking about how he's kind of giving his son a motivational push. Like it ain't no, like, you don't get no handout because you're my son. It's even harder for you, bro. You got to live, you're living in the shadow of the greatness, right? And I told him, I said, bro, yesterday, I'm telling my son, I'm like, I asked him to do a couple things, right? Little basic things to show me, and he didn't do it. I'm like, I will say what I said because I don't care if people are going to
do it, man.
I was like, you are being a lazy piece of shit right now. That's what I told my son. I said, you are being one late. I said, you know what happens to a pile of shit? It doesn't go nowhere, right? It's not good for you. And someone's like, you can't say it to your son. I said, whatever I want to say to my son. I said, your actions, you are being lazy. And laziness does not create greatness. You're not going to win. These are our sons that are watching what's happening right now. And we both know we have a small window for them to get it right now because we know where we're going. They got to get it right now. Like you got to understand, not they don't got to get to our level right now, but you got to understand that even the version you just saw of dad today is not the version that God's calling dad to be tomorrow. And if you don't level fast, you're going to be looking at us like we're sideways. So we got to get them to understand the importance of, even if you could be, he says it all the time, you could be right next to me and not get the moment. Don't matter whether you're family, whether this or not. And for us, I know our boys I believe in it. Now I can't guarantee nothing, but I believe that it's going to happen and they're going to do it. But my point is, that was yesterday's conversation with our kids that want to be in the business with us.
Mine was today.
Yeah, his was this morning.
Mine was today. He's so excited, and he's visioning, and he wants to be a part of it, and he's staying up late And I'm like, what are you doing? What do you do? Do you have any appointments set? It's the doing of work that gets the dream done, right? This thing about like, I believe in it. Yeah, vision. Yeah, vision for a second. And then understand like nobody's business that it's God's good pleasure to gift you that thing after you've done the work he asked you to do. Right? We're in here doing the work. That's it, man. Like, you want to know the truth? We're dogs, real dogs. And we're willing to do the work, all of it, every single thing, to take the losses, the pain. I love the feeling of getting my teeth kicked in. I'll get up and do it again. Right? That's it, man. Like, you can't recreate something like this. We're in the top 1% of the 1%, and we've trained our whole lives for this moment. And that's why universal wealth looks the way it looks, because we came equipped with several different people. And I'm talking about our team that have all built themselves larger than what they were before. And that means we can repeat that over and over again. So yeah, this is the internal dialogue. And like I said earlier today, if somebody doesn't like how it sounds, when you pass me up, you do it different.
Boom. That's it. More pauses coming in. That's what I'm talking about.
This is one female. This is a married couple.
Oof.
They came today. I did the receipt for policy, whatever, sent to the F&G. And when they come, I don't look at that as money. I look at that as a couple and a single female that I've just helped, that at later down the line is going to help their family. Now, the single female is only 35 years of age. She don't have any kids. She's single. She's doing her little bachelorette thing or whatever. But she came to me on a recommendation from a friend that said, hey, you need to talk to the money man. And I was like, who the hell is the money man? I said, who the hell is the money man? She was like, that's what I call you.
I love it.
What? So she comes in. Her name is Danica Muddle. She's from Jamaica.
Oh, I love it.
And the first question she asked me, why do I need a life insurance policy? So I turned it back on her. What does a life insurance policy mean to you? Oh, it's just something I need in case I die. And I smiled. Got her. I'm about to give you some education.
That's it.
And I did just that. Now, when that policy came, I got on Zoom with her. When you get this, I want you to read it. Once you read it, if it's something in it you don't understand, call me. But I'm going to show you a few things in this policy before you get it. So she's supposed to come here tomorrow and pick it up, as well as the married couple. But I say all that to say, first of all, thank you, because I'm honored to be able to work side the both of you. And you know, Jayson, we go way back.
Dude.
Moon's
over Miami. I ain't never
hey,
these baby. Hey. Moon's over Miami, dude. Saved my life.
And Dre, I connect with you like no other. Because when I look at you, I see the journey I went through. Now, yours may have been a little more detrimental than mine.
Doesn't sound
but
like
it's all the same. I mean, it's all the same.
Hey, it doesn't sound like it to me.
That's true. But, you know, I love the both of you. I love the company, because when it's a passion, it's not work. I have no problem. I get up 4 o'clock every morning. I get my workout in, and I'm in this building by 8:30. And I'm in this office, and I'm on the phone with National Life Group, F&G, because I need to know what's going on with the policies I have for my clients. I love it. And then once I'm done there, I'm on out the side sending videos out. Now, I found out today that a cousin of mine, her name is Leroy Carlton, just got her licensed life and health in the state of Maryland. She's from Baltimore,
Oh,
my hometown. I called her up because she's with a company called Potomac Insurance. Really? Okay. I said, look, I'm going to send you something. She said, what? I sent her the I Decide video.
she tripped, huh?
Oh, she couldn't believe it. She said, how did you get that? Don't worry about that. I'm going to bring you into a company that's going to look out for you. And she was baffled. She couldn't believe it because her whole mindset was like, you do insurance and stuff like I do. Yeah, I understand that. But the way we do it, you know, can't nobody touch us.
Can't nobody touch us.
AGG.
Because of you guys' leadership is why I'm where I'm at. So thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you for coming on to the show again. Because as you say, this show was a vision for me. Because I called Jayson up the day that I got the vision. And I say, look, man, I want to do a podcast. And he was like, really? I said, yeah. And it's going to be the Leroy Carlton show. Now, Natalie, thank Natalie. Natalie, when I told Natalie about this, I said, I need to have a guest. But God never gave me a vision on who should be my first guest. Natalie said, who was the first name that came out your mouth when this vision hit you? I said, Jayson. She said, do I need to say anything else? And that's when I picked the phone up and I called Jayson, hey, yo, man, you need to be the first guest on my show. And we did it. We made it.
I'm so proud of you, man. Hey, we just got to keep giving each other the gifts, man. Like I said, you have the passion. And, dude, look at it now.
Show
dude,
16.
Beautiful, baby. Just the beginning.
16.
Listen, this is the way of the future. We got to get our message out there. And this is how we do it. We do it together. Dude, you have a skill on this thing. I love it. Dre, you keep doing you the way you know how to do it. I'll do the way I know how to do it. We're influencing everyone behind us. We'll have everyone behind us, but we just all got to step into our gifts. And dude, I'm proud of you, man. I remember you calling me. I was like, dude, go get it done. And look at you now. Or you're like, good, man. The first time we didn't know what room I was in. It was crazy, right? But
yeah, we was all over the place.
I'm proud of you guys, man. But hey, I'm blessed to be with all you guys. I know we're gonna wrap up, and Dre, I appreciate everything you've done. You paved a good way. You've always been a forward thinker. Keep doing that. And we just put all of our talents together, man. We all believe in God. Let's keep our faith, and that's how the company stays where it's at. The only way, though, I say it every day. The only way is to go south, and we go south. Don't do it to me, guys. Let's just stay locked in. I mean, you got Bove on your hat, so we're good to go. You know, I'm straight, so we're good. You know, we're good. Anyway, love you guys there. Hey, I love both you guys, dude. For real. Let's keep doing it, and let's go ahead and pack this. Yes.
All right. Well, y'all stand by. Don't leave. I'm gonna put you in the back of the studio and wrap this up.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you got a lot from the leaders of this company. And I learned something from them all the time because I keep myself in a state of learning. And I just thank you for coming on the show and watching. For everybody that made comments, thank you for that as well. The next guest on the show is going to be Venice Ewing. She is one of those females you definitely need to know about. So again, thank every last one of you for being on the show. And until the next one, be blessed. Take care.